Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am your host, Joshua Okpara, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Purpose Podcast. Listen, this morning I'm so excited because there is something on my mind that I really want to share with you. First of all, this weekend has been a very long weekend. If you are anywhere near the DFW, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This weather, my goodness. Let me tell you a story. I was driving from Waco, from Dallas actually to Waco, and I've driven in a few storms before, severe weather, things of that nature, and I've gotten into one uh, hailstorm, I guess you may say, before, but we have never seen anything like the ones we saw on Friday. It was crazy, literally. Uh, it was baseball style hail and just a whole lot going on. And anybody who knows me or may not know me, I do not drive in storms. It's not because I'm not a good driver. I would just rather stay home anytime there was a storm. And so it was a little bit different to be in the literal middle of the road. And there was so many people who were stopping by who, stayed under the underpass, and there was not enough room on the underpass. And every drive, every move I made, I'm hearing this loud thud from the hail. And it was ridiculous. And what does my wife do in the midst of all of that? She pulls her phone and she records. I thought that was pretty great. So it was pretty interesting. And so this weekend has been a long weekend. And so I'm so excited to be back. And this day, I want to talk to you about a word that is on my heart, which is the word balance. How do you balance? When I talk with my mentees and people who I mentor and people who I relate with, that seems to be the number one question on their heart every time. How do I balance everything? I got a lot going on. I wear many hats. I wear this or I wear that. I'm multi-talented. I'm multi-gifted. I'm multifaceted. How do I balance it? How do you balance ministry and marketplace? How do you balance job and your home? How do you balance your work and everything else that you want to do in life? How do we balance? That seems to be the biggest thing ever. How do I balance being a student and being a parent? How do I balance being a student and a teacher? Mr. Josh, how do you balance? Is what my students in the high school always ask me. And so balance has been something that's been on my heart for a long time. There are many people who are listening and they're wondering, where do I go from here? Especially now with the summer and whenever you're dealing with transitions, one of the hardest things to do is to find balance in transition. If you ask anybody where they struggle mainly in that area of trying to balance everything. And so I want to talk to you about how can you manage that? How can you effectively balance? First, I want to give a few myths and debunk a few myths about balance that we may or may not know. Number one, balance is not the absence of weight. Many times people say, man, I'm struggling to balance everything. I'm struggling to balance everything. I just need some balance in my life. When they say that, sometimes many people imply that that balance is to eradicate a thing or to simply be at a place of a solidity where I'm not working, I'm not doing anything. I just need some time to myself. And unfortunately, that does not exist. Balance is not the absence of weight. No matter who you are, where you are in life, we all have a weight to carry. We all have a weight to bear. A 3-year old has a weight to bear. Whether that weight is small or minuscule in our eyes, it's still big to the kid. That's why the kid cries, because it's a big deal for them. A 5-year old have a 4-year old right now, and my 4-year old has a balance and a weight to bear. And you cannot tell him that his weight is not big, because it's big for a 4-year old. Every one of us, regardless of your age or the season of your life, we all have a weight to carry. Whether you're a husband, whether you're a wife, whether you're a father, whether you're a mother, whether you're a sister or a brother, whether you're an employee or an employer, every one of us has a weight to bear. And so whenever you're thinking about weight, it's just your daily tasks, your daily routine, the things that you have to do, the things that you need to do, the things you want to do. All of those things are weights. They may not be literal weights, but they are weights that we carry, weights that we have to bear for the advancement of our life. And so whenever we're thinking about balance, we must first understand that balance is not the eradication or the absence of weights. Rather, balance is the ability to distribute weight. Balance is the ability to distribute weight. If you type in the word balance right now in Google or whatever search engine you use, you will see scales. What makes the scale to be balanced is the ability for two equal value, equal essence of weight to be laid on the scale to make it balanced. If you had one too heavy here, then unfortunately it would cause it to be imbalanced. But to have a balanced scale, there has to be an equal amount of weight on both sides to have everything balanced. Why is that important? Many of us, our struggle in our life, our struggle in our mind is because we have unequal weights. This on this side is too much to carry, and this on this side is too little. And so we don't really know how to find balance because we gave 90 over here and we expect him to give 90 here, but we only have 10 left. Or we gave 75 here and we really want to do 50 here, but you only have 25 left. And so balance has to be, how do I maximize, or rather, how do I redistribute my weights so I can have a balanced scale? You see, in ministry, um, people will ask, well, how do you manage being a pastor? How do you manage podcast? How do you manage all of these different things? Being an author, a teacher, how do you manage that? It just seems like you got a lot going on. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do wear many hats. Yes, I do get tired. Yes, I do get weary. Yes, sometimes I get burnt out. But one of the ways I balance is I redistribute my weight. For example, with my wife, we have a date night every Thursday. And I don't have the liberty of changing that. Thursdays are her day, and you better not take her date night away. That is her day, and I've incorporated her day with my team. My team understands that, hey, on this Thursday, we're not going to inform or call pastor because he has a date night or family night with his family. And so they are well aware of my external life. And so that helps me and helps them to have a understanding and a good level of expectation that if I text him on this day, he may not respond. If I call him on this day, he may not respond because he's with family. It also teaches them the level of importance that I place on a weekly basis on my family. It teaches them to honor and to respect my family. And so what I end up doing is that weight of pastoring, I had to redistribute it to say you cannot go on Thursday. It does not mean I stop being a pastor. It just means now I have to give my 100% on a Thursday to my family. That same principle applies even to self. Mondays are for me. Mondays are my day. And what I mean by my day is Mondays are the day where I'm more relaxed, I'm more calm, I'm more cool, and I don't want a lot of work because I just got done with a weekend of preaching, ministering, whatever you name it. Although I still have a daily job, Mondays are the days where I take my time, where I get to relax, where I get to sit back, I get to kick it with family, or I go work out, whatever it may be. Mondays is a me day. That me day could be spent with family. That me day could be spent with my son, but that me day is not ministry. It's not heavy load. That's just a day for self-care. Do you have a day for self-care? You see, I don't stop being a pastor on Monday. I don't stop being a father on Monday. I don't stop being a husband, a brother, a friend, a cousin. All those responsibilities, they don't stop. What happens is I redistribute them to make me on that Monday a priority. That's balance. All right. And so balance is not the absence of weight, but rather it's the redistribution of it. So now, how do you deal with balance? How do you navigate balance? Here are a few things I want to give you that will be able to help you. A few strategy keys, right? Number one, ask yourself, what belongs in my life right now? That's a genuine question. What belongs in your life right now? When you look at your life and the things that you are doing and the tasks that you have, what belongs in my life right now? Many times we are doing the right thing in the wrong season, and the right thing in the wrong season is the wrong thing. The right thing in the wrong season is the wrong thing. And so you have to ask yourself, when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like I'm not balanced, what belongs in my life in this season right now? An 80-year-old man cannot try to go play basketball, although it's the right thing for him to want to follow his dreams. It's hard and all those things are great. It's the wrong season, so it's the wrong thing because he can get injured. He can be prone to injury. He can slow the team down. So the right thing in the wrong season is the wrong thing. And many of us, our weight is right, but it's the wrong season. It's the wrong day. It's the wrong time. And so, what are you doing when you find yourself overwhelmed? Are you doing the right thing in the wrong season? What belongs in my life right now? And vice versa. You have to ask yourself, what doesn't belong in my life right now? What does not? Like I told you on Monday ministry does not belong right there because Monday I need self care. Tuesday, I'm leading a Bible study group. Wednesday, I'm leading my leadership team. And so Thursday, ministry does not belong there. That's family. So I have to ask myself, what belongs here right now? So on Thursday, that does not belong here. So I have to redistribute my weight. I have to redistribute my attention to balance it out. All right? Question number 3, I want you to ask. What requires my strength? And what requires the help of others? Many times, the biggest mistake we make is thinking that we can do it all by ourselves. There's a quote that I love. It says, "One is too small a number to achieve greatness." You were not created to do life alone. What requires just your strength? Those could be small tasks, small things, small assignment, things that require minimal effort. And if you have those things, you must label those things and be sure of those things. But likewise, you must also be clear on what requires the help of others. What things in your life right now that you are doing by yourself and you are probably trying to master that thing because it's a weakness for you, when there are people in your life where that very thing is their strength. I gave an analogy a few weeks ago in my podcast. I told you I have someone who comes to my house bi-weekly to cut my grass, and they're paid. It's a company. It's not because I don't know how to cut grass, but I recognize that that may not be a strength for me compared to a company that has found a strategic way to effectively cut grass in a fast paced level with better machinery. That is their strength. And so I'd rather pay them for their strength so I can maximize my real strength. What requires your strength and what requires the help of others? Last question you have to ask yourself, what do I need? Or who do you need? Do you need a babysitter? Do you need a planner? Do you need a life coach? Who do you need in your life? Every time you feel stuck, you need someone or something to unstuck yourself. Who do you need? What do you need? And lastly, what weights are causing imbalances? You see, when you find out that you cannot redistribute a weight, it is an indication that you're carrying something that does not belong there. When you find out, oh my, this weight is too heavy, I don't have the ability or the faculty to redistribute it, it's so much, it's going on, I can't understand it, I can't explain it, that is your sure sign that there is a weight, there is something you're carrying that unfortunately does not belong there. And here it is: you must learn to release unwanted weight. I know that's hard. For many of us, we are hoarders mentally. We like to hold things. We hold information. We hold data. We hold issues. We hold jobs. We hold everything. And when you are a hoarder in your mind will always feel stuck. And so I want to empower you to understand that a part of having balance is to release unwanted weight. Ladies and gentlemen, balance is not the absence of weight, but it's the redistribution of it. And yes, you can redistribute something out of your life. What do you need to redistribute out of your daily task? What do you need to redistribute out of your monthly, weekly, yearly task? What things do you have? This requires a self-reflection, a self-analysis, to sit down with yourself so you can become a master of balance. Apply these keys, and when we meet next time, tell me how they served you. It has been an honor and a privilege to talk to you. See you next